Good morning students. Today we are going to see about blood. The lesson number is 14. Transportation in plants and circulation in animals. Okay. The today topic is blood. So blood is the main circulating medium in the human body, which consists of two main components, that is plasma and formed elements. The formed elements are otherwise called as blood cells. Okay, what is plasma? Plasma is a colorless liquid which constitutes about 55% of the blood. How much? 55% of the blood. In this plasma, the organic substances like hormones, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, glucose, all these things are present in the plasma. Okay. Next one, formed elements are blood cells. Blood cells are classified into three types: RBC, WBC and blood platelets. RBC. What is the expansion of RBC? Red blood corpuscles. It is otherwise called as erythrocytes. WBC. The expansion of WBC is white blood corpuscles or leukocytes. Blood platelets are otherwise called as thrombocytes. Okay, let us see first one, RBC. So RBC is the main component in the blood. The RBC means it is red in color. Why the blood is red in color? Due to the presence of the pigment called hemoglobin. So this pigment hemoglobin only gives red color to the blood. This hemoglobin carries oxygen, respiratory gases like oxygen to all cells of the body. Okay. The RBC, the lifespan of RBC is 120 days. The lifespan of RBC is 120 days. Why 120 days? In this 120 days, this is after 120 days, these RBCs are ruptured and new RBCs are produced by bone marrow. These RBCs are formed in the bone marrow. The bone marrow only forms the RBC. So after 120 days, these RBCs, old RBCs or matured RBCs are ruptured and new RBCs are formed by bone marrow. Okay. The young RBC have nucleus. But the matured RBC do not have nucleus. Why? Because that place is occupied by the hemoglobin. That's why the young RBC only have nucleus. The matured RBC do not have nucleus. Okay. Next one, WBC. WBCs are otherwise called as leukocytes. Okay. The leukocytes active against the particular diseases. That means it gives immune response against the diseases. Okay. The RBCs have hemoglobin, but WBC do not have hemoglobin. Okay, but it has nucleus. All the WBCs have nucleus. Okay. WBCs are classified into two types. WBCs are classified into two types. granulocytes and agranulocytes. WBCs are classified into two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes means the granules are present in the cytoplasm of the cell. These are classified into three types: neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil. The types of granulocytes are neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. Why the WBCs are classified into two types? Based on the granules. Granulocytes means the granules are present in the cytoplasm of the cell. Agranulocytes means the granules are not present in the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay. So agranulocytes are classified into two. What are they? Lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocyte and monocyte. Okay. First one, neutrophil. Neutrophil has 2 to 7 lobed nucleus. 2 to 7 lobed nucleus. These corpuscles form 60 to 65%. 60 to 65% of the total leukocytes. Okay, so these numbers are increased during the time of infection and inflammation. Okay, what is inflammation? Inflammation is nothing but if any part of the body becomes red and swollen due to the infection and injury, this is called as inflammation. So that time or any injury or any infection time, the numbers of neutrophils are increased. Okay, next one, eosinophil. Eosinophils has bilobed nucleus. Eosinophils has bilobed nucleus. Only two nucleus present in the cell. Okay. These corpuscles form 2 to 3% of the total leukocytes. In the total leukocytes, it forms only 2 to 3%. These numbers are increased during the allergy and parasitic infections. Parasitic infections means, what is parasitic infections? The parasites, encephalitis, that is elephantiasis, teniasis. These are the some of the parasitic infections. Okay. And next one, basophils. Basophils, the total number of basophils is 0.5 to 1% of the total leukocytes. These numbers are increased during the inflammation. Okay. Next one, agranulocytes. They are classified into two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes, the total percentage of lymphocyte is 20 to 25%. 20 to 25%. Okay. These lymphocytes produce antibodies against bacteria and viral infections. Okay. What is antibody? Antibody is nothing but that is the protein components produced against the particular antigen. Okay, that is known as antibody. Okay. Next one, monocyte. Monocyte forms total. The total percentage of monocyte is 5 to 6%. 5 to 6%. The main function of the monocyte is phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means nothing but lysis of the cell, bacterial cell or viral cell. If any antigen or any pathogen enters into our body means our monocyte, this monocyte dioxide engulf the bacteria or any pathogen and produce the immune response, that is known as the monocyte. Okay. Next one, blood platelets. The main function of the blood platelet is clotting of blood. Okay, so it forms clot during the injury or site of any infection area. No, it forms the clot and prevent the loss of blood. This is the main function of the blood platelets. Okay, this is also colorless and they do not have any nucleus. Okay, the lifespan of blood platelet is 8 to 10 days. 8 to 10 days. Okay, so these are the components present in the blood. Okay, next one, what are the functions of blood? What are the functions of the blood? First one, it transports respiratory gases. What are the respiratory gases? Carbon dioxide and oxygen. So it transports oxygen and carbon dioxide to all parts of the body. And next one, it transports hormones. It transports hormones and it circulates the digested food material into all parts of the body. Okay, and it eliminates the nitrogenous waste products. Nitrogenous waste products means ammonia, urea, uric acid, creatinine. These are the nitrogenous waste products. So these eliminates these nitrogenous waste products from the body. Okay, and it is involved in the protection of the body. How it is involved in the protection of the body? Because WBC, it only gives immunity power to the body. No, so the blood is involved in the protection of the body, and then it maintains the proper water balance in the body. It maintains the proper water balance in the body. Okay. The next topic is blood vessels. Blood vessels. Blood vessels are nothing but these are the tubes which transports the and circulates the blood into the human body. Okay, there are three main types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, capillaries. Artery, vein and capillary. Okay, artery. Arteries are thick and elastic vessel. Thick and elastic vessel which carry blood away from the heart to different parts of the body. All arteries carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood. Okay. Next one, vein. Veins are thin and non-elastic which carries deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. Okay. Okay, what are the difference between artery and vein? What are the difference between artery and vein? The walls of the arteries are thick, strong and elastic. The walls of the veins are opposite, weak, thin and non-elastic. And arteries are pink in color. Veins are red in color. These arteries are distributing vessels. These are called as distributing vessels. Veins are collecting vessels. Veins are collecting vessels. And it is found in deep location. It is found in deep location. Veins are found in superficial in location. And arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery only carries deoxygenated blood. Veins, all veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein which carries oxygenated blood. So these are the main difference between arteries and veins. Okay, what is about capillary? Capillary also the fine network of vessels or tubes which is formed by branched artery, and then it unite to form venules and veins. That is known as capillary. Okay. So next class we will see structure of human heart.